Exciting news. Princess Charlotte strolled through the royal grounds, savoring the crisp air and serene surroundings. These walks were her favorite moments, a chance to explore away from the palace's hustle and bustle. But today felt different. As she passed the line of royal guards, something unusual caught her attention. One guard appeared unsteady, his complexion pale beneath his hat. Before she could fully comprehend the situation, he collapsed onto the gravel with a heavy thud. Panic surged through her. Charlotte rushed to his side, her voice soft yet urgent. "Are you all right?" she asked, but he didn't respond. His eyes fluttered open and shut, barely conscious. Realizing the urgency, she quickly retrieved a handkerchief and a small bottle of water from her bag. Dabbing the cloth on his forehead and cheeks, she called for help. "Someone please come." Nearby staff members turned and hurried toward her. Despite her youth, Charlotte remained composed, tilting the guard's head slightly to ensure he could breathe better, just as she had learned in her first aid lessons. She kept wiping his face, glancing anxiously at the approaching staff. The guard groaned softly, his lips moving as if to speak, but no words emerged. Charlotte noticed his trembling hands, a sign of distress beyond mere fatigue. "Just hold on," she whispered. By the time the staff arrived, Charlotte had done all she could. "He needs help," she said, stepping back to let them take charge. Her quick thinking had made a difference, yet something about the guard's condition unsettled her. His pale face and faint groans hinted at deeper troubles. As they lifted him onto a stretcher to carry him to the palace infirmary, Charlotte felt a determination rise within her. This was more than a simple health emergency. It was a moment that called for her compassion. "I want to come," she insisted, her tone resolute. She sensed that the guard's collapse was tied to burdens heavier than his duty. The staff exchanged glances, but did not protest. Even at her young age, Charlotte conveyed a sense of responsibility. She walked alongside the stretcher, her mind racing with questions about the guard's condition. Words like "bills" and "my boy" echoed in her ears, deepening her concern. What if his collapse stemmed from stress or personal struggles? Upon entering the infirmary, the doctor began assessing the guard. Charlotte stood quietly in the corner, observing as the doctor worked to stabilize him. Though color returned to his face, he remained weak and unresponsive. The guard stirred, his eyes opening slightly as he murmured, "Can't let them down." It was then that Charlotte realized his collapse was not just physical. It was the weight of profound responsibilities pressing down on him. As the doctor muttered something about dehydration and stress, Charlotte leaned in. "Who needs you?" she asked softly. "My boy," the guard mumbled, his voice trailing off. A lump formed in Charlotte's throat as she grasped the depth of his struggles. His son was ill, and financial burdens were clearly taking a toll. The doctor exchanged a knowing glance with Charlotte. "He's delirious, but he's speaking from the heart," he said gently. "Exhaustion and stress often bring emotions to the surface." Charlotte nodded, understanding that the guard's collapse was the culmination of unseen burdens. As he continued to murmur, words like medicine, school fees, and double shifts spilled from his lips, painting a picture of a devoted father striving to support his family against all odds. Determined to help, Charlotte sought out staff who knew the guard. Each conversation revealed more about the man stretched thin by life's demands. A palace footman shared insights. "He's a good man, devoted to his family. His youngest has been in and out of the hospital." A housekeeper added, "He never complains, but you can see the weight he carries in his eyes." The more Charlotte learned, the stronger her resolve became. It wasn't just about easing his immediate burdens. It was about recognizing his sacrifices and ensuring he felt valued. She realized small acts of kindness could make a significant difference for him and his family. Later that evening, surrounded by notebooks and stationery, Charlotte began to plan her gesture of gratitude. She decided to send comfort to the guard's family, starting with a soft, embroidered blanket for his youngest child, along with books and art supplies to lift his spirits. For the guard himself, she chose a personalized journal for his thoughts and a gift card to a local store for essentials. The centerpiece of her effort was a heartfelt letter. In her delicate handwriting, she wrote, "Dear Sir, I wanted to take a moment to thank you for your service and dedication. What happened today reminded me of how much you give, not just to the royal family, but to your own family as well. Your strength and resilience are an inspiration. Please know that your efforts do not go unnoticed, and we are grateful for everything you do. I hope this small gesture brings you comfort during this time. With gratitude and warm wishes, Charlotte. After sealing the envelope with a golden crest, Charlotte felt pride swell within her, not for herself, but for the guard who had given so much without expecting anything in return. She knew her gesture alone wouldn't be enough. His story deserved greater recognition. Summoning her courage, she approached her grandparents with a proposal. "May I speak with you about the guard who fainted today?" The king and Camilla exchanged intrigued glances as she shared everything she had learned about his dedication and struggles. "He's done so much for us," she concluded. "I think it's time we do something for him." A few days later, Charlotte's efforts bore fruit. An official announcement declared that the guard would receive a royal commendation for his exemplary service, to be presented in a small ceremony at the palace. When the guard, now recovered, learned of the commendation, he was deeply moved. Charlotte stood beside her parents during the ceremony, watching as the guard accepted the honor, tears in his eyes. A profound sense of fulfillment washed over her. Her actions had made a difference for him and his family. Afterward, the guard approached Charlotte privately. "Your kindness means more than I can ever say," he said. "My family has never seen me recognized like this. You've given us hope." In the days following the ceremony, the royal guard returned to his post. The care package from Princess Charlotte, along with her heartfelt letter, brought tears of joy to his family. His youngest son, wrapped in the soft blankets, smiled for the first time in weeks, and the art supplies inspired colorful creations that brightened their home. The guard's wife later wrote to the palace, expressing gratitude. "Your kindness has lifted a weight we thought we'd carry alone. You gave us hope and reminded us we are seen." Charlotte read the letter with warmth in her chest, reflecting on how a moment of quick action had led to something so meaningful. "Empathy," she whispered to herself, "it's the greatest gift we can give." Do you agree with Princess Charlotte that empathy is the greatest gift we can offer? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. For now, that's all for this video. Catch you next time.